Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to turn this 2D drawing into a real 3D model. So you can see in this object I want to separate this object into 3 details. And I will create this detail A first. This one is detail A. So I will create this one first, create this one second, and this one last. Okay. And the detail A in here, we have the drawing for this. So you can see in here, you can read, you can see the diameter is 150. So it means that we will use the revolve tool, all right? So I will sketch the outline of detail 8. I will use the revolve to generate the base shape. And the empty space inside, I will sketch it later and using the Boolean cut later, all right? So to draw the detail A, I decided to use the front plane first, okay? So this will be the center of the scene. So let's jump into FreeCAD. In FreeCAD, in the part workbench, I will create a new sketch in the front. And you can see the diameter is 150. So the center to the left will be 150 divided by 2. So I will create a line first from the center to the left and set the distance to 150 divided by 2 will be 75. And this one go from here, go up to 15. And let me create polyline. Go up like this. And then go to the right a little bit and go in the middle and go down. Okay. And set the distance of this line will be 15. And from the top to the bottom of detail A will be 65. 65. All right. And the angle is 65. All right. Now the sketch is fully constrained. I close. I go to the revolve this one in the z-axis, and I click OK. Now I have the very main base shape of detail A. Next I will do is I will create the main shape of the detail up here. So you can see this detail is away from detail A to 60 from the front plane. Okay, from the front you go up to 60, but from the top offset it to 85. Okay, that's why I will create this one in the front plane, create a sketch in the front, but I offset this one to 85. Okay, now I have a correct sketch. What I will do is I will create the basic geometry in the middle here. So you can see the distance of this one is 35 from here to here. Okay, and the length of from here to here is 375. So I will create a center rectangle from the middle goes to here, and make sure the center point and the center line is snapping together, and hit C to snap it. Set this one to 35 and this one to 375. And the distance from here to here will be 260. 260. Okay, now the sketch is fully constrained. I close. Next, I want to extrude this one to 10. So go to extrude. To the left, mean the negative one in the y-axis 10, and I click OK. All right, now I have a very basic shape. Now I will create small detail of up here. So I will select in this face and create a new sketch and face. And I will reference this line over here. So you can see the arc in here is, the radius is 30. Okay. The arc in here is, the radius is 30. This arc of the diameter is 20. And in between is the straight line. Okay, and the fillet, I will do that later. So basically, I will create 3 circles. So I create a circle in the middle, another one on top, and another one at the bottom. I select these 3 circles, these 3 points, and I hit V for vertical constraint. And I select in the middle one and set the diameter to 30. Multiply 2 will be 60. And I select these 2 and hit E for equal. Now I set the diameter of this one to 20. Okay. Now I can set the distance between these 2 will be, you can see, 75 from center to here. 75. So I go to 75. All right. Now I can set the distance from this point to this point will be 75 divided by 2. Okay, now the sketch is fully constrained. Let me clean up these guys. Now I will create 4 lines. 4 lines. One line like this. Another one. Another one. And the last one. Okay. Now I hit T to activate the tension constraints. And I just simply click on this line and this circle. This line and this circle. Doing the same on the right. This line and this circle. 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 Okay. Now I can using the trim tool or trim edge. Go to the trim edge and I remove. Let's see. Let me go out for a second. You should make this line longer a little bit, okay, for easy to trims. And then you go to the trim again and just remove these edges outside. Okay, now we just clean up all of these lines here, but we have 2 degrees of freedom. So we click on this one, and you can see these points in here. Let's checking. So we need to add the tangent constraints between this one and this one. Hit T for tangent. And we have another one in here. So this one is disconnected. So I select this point and hit C to snap it. Okay, now the sketch is fully constrained. I can close. And I can extrude this one to 10 to the positive one for the y-axis. And I click OK. All right. But in the drawing, we also have 2 small holes in here and another hole in the middle. But I will create the middle hole later because I just want to create one cut to generate the hole in the middle. So I will go back to the extrude 001. And I will create 2 circles. One on top and another one at the bottom. Selecting these 2 and hit E for equal. And set the diameter, let's see, 10. Then I close. And you can see I have 2 holes in here. Next, I want to create 3 more copies of this one. And move it to the right with the gap is 125. I click on this extrude and hit Ctrl C to copy and choose this extrude 001. Click OK and Ctrl V 3 times. Okay. I click on the extrude 002 and go to the transform. And I type in here 125 and move this one to the left 1 unit. Doing the same for the rest. Okay. Now I hit Shift B and select all of these guys up here and go to the fusion. And make sure the fusion have the refine option set to true. Okay. And next I will create some fillet in here. So I will control selecting these edges. This one and this one. This one and this one. Also this one. And go to the fillet with the radius with 25. Okay. Now we have a nice clean detail. Let me call this one detail. Set detail B. Okay. The next step is I want to write the last detail. So in this detail, I will use a sketch on the right plane and a sketch on the front plane, and using the mix curve to mix them together, and using the sweep tool to generate the geometry. And you can see this geometry also hollow, but I will hollow them later in the last step. So in here on the right plane, you can see this one have the radius is 45. So I will create a new sketch in the right, and I will create let's see, view the section and create polyline. something like this, and we reference this line over here, this point, this line over here, selecting this point, and this point, and hit S for symmetry constraint. Now you can see in here the last point of the curve away from the center is 40. I will set this one to 40. Okay, now I can write in a fillet in between with the radius is 45. Now I can close. Now go to the front view, and I will draw these two. I will draw this curve and this curve, and no need to draw on the right because I will mirror them later. So let's go to create a new sketch in the front, and I will view the section. I will reference this arc right here and another arc somewhere up here. And you can see this point is the center point, which is what I want, but in here I cannot find the point. So you know the gap is 125, so I know that the distance from here to here is 125. So let's create the polyline. Go down here and finish in here. Okay, and another one from middle to here and finish in here. And I will set the distance to 40. Also 40. And this one, I hit H for horizontal constraint. This one and this one, hit V for vertical constraint. Okay. This one and this one, hit H for horizontal. And I will also set the fillet and set equal for these two arcs. Hit E for equal. And the radius will be 75. 75. Okay. And also the distance from this point right here to the center point up here is 100. So I set the distance from this point to this point is 100. Then I close. Okay, we should have 3 lines like this. And then I go to the curve bench and Control select these two and go to the mix curve. And I have now a 3D curve to work with. Let me hide the detail B for a second. And you can see the diameter of the geometry outside will be 40. Okay. And I will use that information to generate a circle in here. So I go to the product workbench and Control selecting this line and this point, and I go to create a new sketch, normal to edge, and I click OK, and I create a circle with the diameter is 40. Then I close. All right. Also, Control selecting this one and this one, and create a new sketch, normal to edge. And will be 40. Okay, because I will use these two later, so I will rename them. Okay. Now I can sweep them. So I go to the sweep and click on this one, sweep path, and control selecting these edges. And hit done and create solid. Click OK. Doing the same with this one. Click on the sweep tool and this one, sweep path, control selecting these edges. Hit done, create solid. Click OK. Alright. Now what I need to do is I will use the mirror tool to mirror this one to the other side. I control select these two and go to the mirror, YZ plane, and I will control selecting these four, and I go to the fusion to union them together. All right, and I call this one detail C, detail C, outside. Okay, and I will hide this, and I will create the inside one, so that I can control selecting these two circle, and I hit Control C to copy, and I want to copy these two, and I Control V to paste it, and I go to rename this one to, and I go inside each sketch and change this to 30. Close this one and change this to 30. Close. All right. And let me hide the circle outside. And I will sweep again. Go to the sweep. And this one, 30. Sweep path. So selecting these edges. Hit done. Create solid. Doing the same in here. Then I can just select the issue and go to the mirror. Mirror this one in the YZ plane. And control select these four and union them together. And I call this one cutter. And let me hide this one for a second because I will use this to cut the whole object. So I hide this. Let me show this DLC outside to see what's happening. Now I go back to the drawing, and in the drawing, I want to sketch the inside sketch to create hollow, the detail 8. So I will create a new sketch in the front. And for this sketch, I will fill the section. Okay. And I will reference this line and this line. Create polyline. You can see the gap between these guys is 10. So I will go exactly the same from over somewhere around here. Go up and then go to the right a little bit. Go to the right, go down, and then go to the left. And I set the distance between this one and this one will be 10. This point and this line will be 10. Okay, this point and this line, let's see, 10. This point and then this line will be 10. Now I can create in some fillet inside here. So I will create in a fillet from here to here and from here to here. And I will set the radius of this one to, let's see, you can see the fillet of inside here is 5 and up here is 10. So I type in here 5 and this radius, oops, go out. This one will be 10. And we have 1 degree of freedom. Let's checking. So maybe I should add the radius again in here. Yeah, 5. Then the sketch is fully constrained, as you can see. I close. And I click on this sketch and go to the revolve. And I click OK. And we just have the inside geometry in here. So go back to the drawing. So you can see the outside of the detail A. We have some radius. So because a fillet in FreeCAD is not very strong, that's why I need to create fillet first. All right. So I will go to first before I go into the fusion between these details. So I need to create a fillet with the radius is 20 and down here is 15. So I click on this edge and go to the fillet with the radius is 20. And the radius of the fillet in here will be 15. Now I can control selecting this one and the detail C outside and I go to the fusion. Union. Okay. Now I have the fusion 003. I click on the fusion 003 and the revolve 001, which is the cutter inside, and I go to the cut. Okay, so now we have a nice clean surface down here. And I also want to show the detail B. I control selecting the cut and the detail B, and I go to the fusion again, the union again. All right, now we just join all of these guys together. To hollow inside, I just simply show the cutter hollow, as you can see, and I control selecting the fusion 004 and the cutter hollow, and I go to the cut. Now we just hollow inside, as you can see. The next step is I go in here and start to draw these 4 details at the bottom. So I go to creating a new sketch in the top view and I view the section. I creating a circle and you can see the circle in here have the diameter is 170 and we have a small circle in here with the radius is 10 and the radius outside is 12.5 and the radius in here is 17. Okay, with that information I can generate the radius. Let's see, selecting this one and hit D and set the radius, the diameter to 170 and selecting this one and hit G and N to turn that into construction geometry. Let's see this, selecting this one and this one, hit C, selecting this one and hit C to snap it and set the diameter to 17.5 multiplied by 2 and 12.5 multiplied 2. Yeah, that is correct. And I will create another circle inside with the diameter is 10. Okay. and I will reference this circle outside. And let me create in an arc from here to here and curve inside a little bit. From here to here also curve inside. And I hit T to activate the tangent constraint and set the tangent constraint between this arc and this circle. This one and this one. Okay. Selecting this one and this one, hit E for equal, and set the radius of this arc to 15. Okay, now I can use the trim edge to trim this one, this one, this one, and let's zoom close here, really close, and remove this one and this one. Okay, and also creating an arc to connect from here to here. Selecting this one and this one, hit E for equal. Now the sketch is fully constrained. I can close. And I will issue this one. Up to, let's check in the dimension. Up to, you can see, 10. Okay. Now you can use the polar array to array it 4 times and union them. But I find that when I do the copy of the extrude, the FreeCAD working more stable. So I will Ctrl C to copy this one. And Ctrl V 3 times and go to the transform and rotation increment to 19 and rotate this one 1 unit. Okay, doing the same in here. Rotate this one to the left and rotate this one. Okay. Now I can control selecting this V4 and go to the part, compound, and make compound. I control selecting the cut and the compound, and I go to the fusion. Okay. Now I can create in some fillet. You can see the radius will be say 7. So I can just select in this edge, and then this edge. And creating a fillet with the radius is 7. Okay. And selecting this edge and creating a fillet. With this radius will be 5 right here. Come to 5. Yeah, pretty good. I'll go inside here. And let me select in this edge. This edge. This edge. This edge. Creating a fillet with the radius will be 12. You can see. Creating a fillet. 10. So yes, we just finished modeling this object using Pratt Workbench. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.